Hi, everyone. My name is Emily, and today I really want to share something so close to my heart. The topic is focus only on yourself and stay silent. And honestly, this is not just a topic for me, it's my life now. Maybe you're someone who's feeling lost, overwhelmed, or just tired of the noise around you. If that's you, just know you're not alone. Today, I'm going to talk about why focusing only on yourself and staying silent can completely change your life. And I'll tell you how it happened for me, step by step. The real, raw truth. No fancy words, no pretending, just real talk. So, grab your coffee, your tea, sit back, and let's just talk like two friends hanging out, okay? You know, I used to live in a small town called Bend, Oregon. It's one of those beautiful, peaceful places surrounded by mountains and pine trees. But inside me, there was no peace. I cared way too much about what people thought of me. Every little thing, their opinions, their advice, their judgment, it lived inside my head rent-free. I was always trying to explain myself, always trying to prove I'm a good person, always trying to please. It was exhausting. And the worst part? The more I tried to get people to like me or understand me, the more I lost myself. It's funny. You think by explaining yourself or defending yourself, people will understand you. But they don't. Most of them are not even listening. They are too busy thinking about themselves. One night, I was sitting at a little cafe called Back Porch Coffee Roasters in Bend. I was sipping my latte, staring out the window, and I just felt so drained. And then this thought hit me. What if I stopped explaining? What if I stopped trying to make everyone understand me? What if I just focused on myself? It was scary, because I had spent so long trying to be seen by others that the idea of going silent felt like disappearing. But deep down, I knew it was exactly what I needed. So, the next day, I made a decision. A real, honest decision. From now on, I would focus only on myself and stay silent about my dreams, my plans, my pain, my success, everything. At first, it wasn't easy, especially in a town where everybody knows everybody. When someone asked, "So, what are you working on these days?" I used to spill everything, all my plans, all my goals. But now, I would just smile and say, "Oh, just working on myself," and leave it at that. No extra details, no big explanations. I learned that silence is powerful. It protects you. It protects your dreams. Because the more you talk about what you're doing, the more you invite opinions you don't need. And trust me, not everybody wants to see you succeed. Some people just want to see you stay the same, stuck with them. By staying silent, I was building my life in private, and it felt magical. I moved to a bigger city later, Seattle, Washington. New city, new energy. And guess what? I stayed true to my decision. Focus only on myself. Stay silent. I stopped posting everything on social media. I stopped sharing my next steps with everyone. I stopped looking for validation. And that's when real growth started. Not just in my career, but in my mind, my confidence, my peace. You see, when you stop explaining yourself, you give yourself permission to be yourself. No more needing approval, no more second guessing, just pure focus. And focusing only on yourself doesn't mean you're selfish. It means you understand that your energy is limited, your time is limited, your life is precious. You can't waste it trying to convince people who are committed to misunderstanding you. You can't waste it living for other people's applause. You know, sometimes your silence will upset people. They'll say, "You've changed. You're distant. You think you're better now." Let them talk. You're not responsible for their feelings about your growth. You're responsible for your own peace. I remember a time in Seattle. I had a small group of friends I used to hang out with. good people, but they love to gossip, talk about others, judge, laugh, pick apart everyone who wasn't there. And I realized, if I wasn't careful, I would become like that too. So I quietly distanced myself. No drama, no announcements, just silent stepping back. I focused on my reading, my work, my gym sessions, my healing, and slowly, better people, better opportunities, better energy started flowing into my life. Because when you raise your vibration, the right people find you naturally. You don't have to chase anymore. And there's something so beautiful about growing quietly, working quietly, healing quietly, winning quietly. Nobody can attack what they don't know about. Now, here's the thing. Staying silent doesn't mean you never speak. It means you choose carefully what you share, and with whom. It means you no longer seek attention, because you know your value. You don't need to announce every move, every success, every lesson. It's like building a house. Would you invite everyone to come look while the bricks are still being laid? Number, you invite them once it's finished, once it's strong. Your life is like that house. Build it quietly. Protect it while it's under construction. One of the best things I learned during this time was to journal. Instead of talking to random people about my dreams, I started talking to my journal, writing out my ideas, my fears, my excitement, keeping it sacred. I also started going for long walks in a park near Green Lake in Seattle. Sometimes I'd walk for hours. No music, no phone calls, just me and my thoughts. And you know what happens when you give yourself that kind of space? You start hearing yourself again, your real voice, not the noise of society, not the noise of expectations, but your own pure voice, that voice inside you that knows what you truly want, who you truly are, where you truly want to go. And the more I honored that voice, the more everything started to make sense. The confusion faded, the anxiety faded, the comparison faded, because when you're truly focused on yourself, you stop comparing your life to anyone else's. You realize everyone's journey is different. Everyone's timing is different. Your only competition is the person you were yesterday. Your only mission is to be better than that person. Not better than your neighbor. Not better than your ex. Not better than your friends. Better than your old self. One small step at a time. I also learned that silence is a teacher. When you stay silent, you observe more. You learn who's really for you. You see who claps when you're not in the room. You see who respects your boundaries. You see who's willing to grow with you and who wants you to stay small. And yes, sometimes it hurts. It hurts to let go of old friendships. It hurts to outgrow places and people you once loved. But trust me, the peace that comes afterward, it's priceless. Now I live in Nashville, Tennessee, another beautiful chapter of my life. Still focusing on myself, still staying silent, still protecting my energy like it's sacred, because it is. And if you're listening to this today, maybe it's a sign for you too. Maybe it's time to pull back, time to focus only on yourself, time to stay silent about your dreams, time to protect your peace, time to grow in private. Remember, you owe nobody an explanation. You owe nobody a performance. You owe yourself peace, growth, and joy. Focus on your own lane. Water your own garden. Build your own dreams. And let your success make the noise one day. After my move to Nashville, I hit a creative slump. I had built this new life in silence, but suddenly I found myself doubting everything. I'd walk the streets of East Nashville, past the murals and the little vinyl shops, and I'd think, is any of this really mine? One afternoon, I sat at Frothy Monkey on Fifth Avenue. I ordered their famous cold brew and pulled out my journal. I stared at the blank page for 20 minutes before writing a single word. In that silence, I realized that focusing on myself doesn't guarantee smooth sailing. Sometimes it means encountering a wall where you least expect it. But here's the thing: when you're silent, you learn to break down those walls on your own. I closed my eyes and asked myself, what scares you most right now? It was the fear that my silence meant I had nothing to say, that I was losing my voice. And in that moment, I made another decision. Silence wasn't about muting myself forever. It was about choosing the right moment to speak and having something worth saying. So I started a new morning ritual. Every day at dawn, I'd stand on the front steps of my apartment in 12 South, breathe in the April air, and whisper to myself, "You have a story." Then I'd spend the next hour writing, pouring out every thought, every fear, every tiny victory into my journal. I didn't show those pages to anyone. It was just for me. Slowly, words flowed, ideas sparked. I rediscovered my passion for storytelling. One day, I wrote about the time I sang karaoke alone at Tootsie's Orchid Lounge. I was terrified. My voice was shaky. My heart was pounding. But I sang anyway. Nobody cheered. Nobody jeered. The silence afterward was deafening. And in that moment of silence, I heard myself. That memory reminded me that the most powerful voice is the one you find in the pause between notes. Emboldened by that realization, I started sharing small glimpses of my journey, without giving away the entire roadmap. A photo of my journal's edge on Instagram stories, a two-line caption about my sunrise ritual, a tweet celebrating a personal milestone. Notice the difference? I wasn't splashing my life everywhere. I was offering peeks, invitations for people to care, but still protecting the essence of my growth. Then came an unexpected opportunity. A local podcast in Nashville invited me to speak about creative confidence. They wanted me on air. My first instinct was to say no. I'd built so much through silence. Why break it now? But I realized the right kind of sharing can amplify your impact. The goal isn't to stay hidden, it's to be strategic. So I said yes, but with conditions. I would speak only about the lessons I'd learned internally. I would refuse to discuss gossip, drama, or other people's business. I would share insights, not excuses. When the day came, I sat in that little booth at Blackbird Studios, headphones on, mic hot, and I breathed deeply. I talked about the power of private growth, of choosing silence over chaos, and of finding your own voice in the quiet. After the episode dropped, messages started pouring in. Thank yous from strangers in Chicago, Los Angeles, and even small towns in Iowa. They felt seen. They felt inspired. That's when I realized your silence isn't just a shield for you. It can be a signal, an invitation for others to find their own focus. Since then, my life has been a balance of private and public. I finish my projects in silence. I announce them with intention. I celebrate with authenticity. And every time I feel the urge to overshare, I pause and remember that feeling on the steps of my 12 South apartment, standing alone at sunrise, whispering, "You have a story." That whisper is my compass. So here's where you are right now, listening to me from wherever you are in the United States, be it New York's subway roar, Chicago's lake breeze, or Miami's ocean hum. I want you to try an experiment. Pick one thing you've been talking about nonstop: your side hustle, your relationship, your big life plan. Give yourself 7 days of complete silence around it. No updates, no soliciting opinions. Use that energy to work on the thing itself. Research, practice, reflect. On day 8, journal what you've learned. Notice the clarity that emerges. You might surprise yourself with how much progress can happen when you stop performing and start doing. And whenever you feel the itch to overshare, just close your eyes and imagine me whispering, "You have a story." Guard that story. Build it. Let it ripen in the quiet. And when you finally share it, when you step back into the conversation, you'll find you have so much more to give. Your silence has been preparing you for your greatest chapter yet. Believe that, trust that, and let it guide you forward. All right, let's dive into some of my favorite tips and tricks for truly focusing on yourself and embracing the power of silence. I'll explain each one in full detail, just like we're chatting over coffee in your favorite cafe. 1. Morning Silence Ritual. Every morning before the world wakes up, dedicate at least 10 to 15 minutes to absolute quiet. No phone, no music, no distractions. I like to sit on my porch, or even on my bed if it's raining, and simply breathe. Inhale through your nose for 4 counts. Hold for 4. Exhale for 6. Doing this consistently clears out mental clutter, anchors you in the present, sets the tone for a day of intentional focus. How to start? Pick a consistent time. Sunrise is ideal, but even 7 a.m. works. Find a comfortable spot. Use a simple timer on silent mode. If your mind races, gently label thoughts, thinking, planning, worrying, and let them float away like clouds. 2. Journal to your silent audience. Instead of blurting your ideas everywhere, write them down privately. Treat your journal as your one and only confidant. Full honesty, no filters. Over time, you'll see patterns in your thoughts and identify what truly matters. Deep dive steps. Choose a bound notebook you love. This adds a little ritual. Date every entry. Start each page with "Today I" and just spill. End with "One thing I'm proud of" or "One lesson I learned." After a month, flip back through and notice recurring themes. Maybe you worry too much about what others think, or you're really passionate about a creative project. 3. Digital detox, Windows. Our phones are noise machines. Set clear off periods where you disconnect. No social media, no texts, no news. Your brain needs white space. Implementation. Pick 2 windows per day, e.g., 9 a.m. to 11 a.m., 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Turn off notifications or enable Do Not Disturb. Use an actual alarm clock so you're not tempted to browse before bed. Replace the habit. Take a walk, read a page of a book, stretch. Over time, you'll notice your attention span lengthen and your internal voice sharpen. 4. Strategic sharing only. When you do speak about your goals, be intentional. Share progress, but not the blueprint. Imagine you're holding a lantern in the dark. You show the light, but you keep the power source hidden. Guidelines. Ask yourself, will sharing this help me or drain me? If it's for accountability, pick one trusted friend or mentor. If it's for celebration, a simple "I did it" post or message suffices. No need for a play-by-play. Keep your why private. Let the what and when inspire. 5. Boundary setting conversations. Silence isn't about ghosting people. It's about protecting your energy. Learn to say, I'm focusing on a project right now, so I'll catch up with you next week. Practice scripts. Thanks for the invite. I'm in a deep work phase, so I'll sit this one out. I appreciate your concern, but I need some space to figure this out. The more you practice, the more natural it will feel, and people will respect you for valuing your time. 6. Quiet community building. Surround yourself with others who respect silence and self-focus. This could be a mastermind group, a meditation circle, or a book club that meets once a month. The key is, they understand when you're in building mode and won't guilt you for keeping quiet. How to find yours? Check local meetups for silent retreats or mindfulness groups. Join online forums that emphasize action over talk. Look for 30-day challenge groups. When you meet someone who gets it, exchange contact info, but keep check-ins brief and purposeful. 7. Active listening practice. Silence on the outside empowers your inner focus, but practicing silence in conversation can also be a superpower. When someone else speaks, aim to maintain eye contact, resist the urge to interrupt, paraphrase back what they said. So what I'm hearing is, this trains your brain to be patient and present, and people will value you as a thoughtful confidant. 8. Monthly silent retreat days. Once a month, give yourself a full day of near total silence. You don't have to travel far. Just pick a peaceful spot. Your home, a nearby park cabin, even a quiet corner of the local library. Retreat structure: morning, meditate and journal. Midday, mindful walking or yoga. Afternoon, focused work on a passion project. Evening, reflective journaling and planning. By the end of the day, you'll recalibrate your priorities and return to regular life with crystal clear direction. 9. Visualization behind closed eyes. Before sleep, spend 5 minutes visualizing your goals. Eyes closed, in complete darkness. Feel the emotions of success, pride, relief, joy. This quiet rehearsal cements neural pathways and primes you for action. Tip: keep your hands on your heart and belly as you visualize. This grounds the practice in your body, not just your mind. 10. Celebrate small wins in silence. You don't need an audience to acknowledge your progress. When you hit a milestone, no matter how small, take a moment of silent gratitude. Close your eyes, place your hand over your heart, and say, "Well done." Why it works: reinforces positive neural feedback, builds internal motivation, keeps external noise from diluting your joy. 11. Design your quiet space. Create a dedicated physical corner in your home that signals focus mode. It could be a small desk by a window, a comfy armchair in a corner, or even a closet office setup. Essentials: a comfortable chair or cushion, a small table or lap desk, soft lighting, a simple desk lamp, and minimal decor. Think one plant or a single inspiring print. No phone zone. Keep all distracting tech outside this space. If you need your computer for work, turn off notifications and use site blockers to limit social media. Ritual cue. Before you enter, do something consistent. Light a candle, play a short chime, or simply take 3 deep breaths to tell your brain we're shifting gears. 12th, practice micro resets. Even in the middle of a busy day, you can refresh your focus with 60-second resets. Body scan. Close your eyes, put one hand on your chest and the other on your belly, then scan mentally from head to toe. Notice where you feel tension and consciously release it. Grounding exercise. Feel your feet on the floor, wiggle your toes, and silently name 5 things you can hear around you. This quickly pulls you back from scattered thoughts. Purpose. Reminder. Whisper under your breath the word focus 3 times to realign your intention. 13. Use the 5-3-1 work block method structure. Your most important work into 3 blocks each day. 5. Spend 5 minutes planning your top priorities. 3. Dedicate 3 60-minute work sessions to your single biggest goal, with 5-minute breaks between each. 1. Reserve one uninterrupted 2-hour deep dive block on the toughest task of the week. This method keeps your energy concentrated on what truly moves the needle, rather than scattering it across endless small tasks. 14. Cultivate a personal mantra. A short, powerful phrase you can silently repeat to yourself when you feel pulled into noise or overwhelm. Examples. My peace is non-negotiable. Build in private. Silence fuels strength. How to adopt it. Write your chosen mantra on a small card and tuck it into your wallet or stick it on your bathroom mirror. Repeat it 3 times each morning and anytime doubt or distraction creeps in. 15. Embrace minimalist scheduling. Less is more. Overpacked days invite external noise. Sparse scheduling creates space for focus. One big thing. Each day, choose one non-negotiable project or goal. Block out 2 to 4 hours for it. Buffer blocks. Allocate 15 to 30-minute white space slots before and after meetings to catch your breath and process. Weekly review. Every Sunday evening, review your calendar. Remove or delegate any activity that doesn't align with your core priorities. 16. Leverage ambient soundscapes. Total silence can sometimes feel too stark. Curate gentle, non-lyrical background sounds that support concentration. Options: soft rain or ocean waves, crackling fireplace, or a muted coffee shop murmur. Implementation: use a single timeless playlist or a white noise app. Keep volume low, just loud enough to mask jarring noises, but not so loud that it competes with your thoughts. 17th. Power nap for mental clarity. A 10 to 20-minute nap in the early afternoon can reset your brain's processing and creativity. Optimal timing. Between 1 p.m. and 3 p.m. local time. Listen to how your body feels. Don't let it cut into your night's sleep. Environment: a quiet, dim room. Eye mask and earplugs if needed. Post-nap ritual. Upon waking, stretch and hydrate before diving back into work to avoid grogginess. 18. Silent accountability partner. Pair up with someone who also values quiet growth. Rather than constant check-ins, you'll exchange end-of-week progress reports in 2 to 3 sentences via a simple text. Why it works. You gain accountability without the pressure of detailed updates. How to start? Reach out to a friend or colleague who's tackling a similar goal. Agree on a single line of progress to share each Friday and stick to it. 19th. Mindful eating practices. Your focus extends to how you nourish your body. Turn meals into mini silent retreats. No devices. Eat without scrolling or screen checking. Savor slowly. Chew each bite at least 20 to 30 times, noticing flavors, textures, and temperatures. Hydration ritual. Before each meal, drink a full glass of water in silence, appreciating its clarity. 20. Reflective end-of-day decompression. Before bed, spend 5 to 10 minutes in a calm ritual that signals the end of your active focus period. Activities. Light stretching, reading a few pages of a fiction book, or a brief body scan meditation. Digital shutdown. Power down screens at least 60 minutes before sleep. Gratitude. Note. Write down one thing you accomplished today and one lesson you learned. No more than 2 sentences each. 21. Develop a one-word daily theme. Choose a single word each morning that embodies how you want to operate that day, like presence, courage, or flow. Let this word guide decisions and remind you to stay centered. Morning setup. Write your word on a sticky note and place it on your bathroom mirror. Throughout the day, whenever you catch yourself slipping into noise or distraction, pause, breathe, and silently recite your word 3 times. Evening reflection. Journal one way you lived that theme and one area where you could lean in more. 22nd. Silence. First email strategy. Prevent overwhelm by structuring your inbox interactions around silence. Check windows only. Limit email checks to 2 brief slots, late morning and late afternoon. Rapid triage. On each pass, action what takes under 2 minutes. Defer what needs deep thought into your silent space, and delete or archive the rest. Silent sign-off. Use a simple, consistent email signature like Focused Regards or In Silence Emily to subtly reinforce your practice. 23. Body movement as reset. When your mind is cluttered, engage your body in a brief, silent movement. No music, just yourself and the motion. Examples: 5 sun salutations, 20 air squats, or a 2-minute isometric wall sit. Why it helps. Physical effort uses a different part of your nervous system, flushing out stress hormones and resetting mental tension. Integration. Program a movement break into your calendar after every 90 minutes of seated work. 24. Cultivate a silent mentor practice. Choose a figure, real or historical, whose discipline and focus you admire, e.g., Maya Angelou, Nikola Tesla, RBG. Study their routines and philosophies, but do it privately. Research quietly. Spend 1 hour reading or listening about them without posting or discussing. Extract rituals. Identify one habit of theirs you can integrate into your own silent routine. Honor in silence. Once a month, write a letter to this mentor in your journal expressing gratitude, even though you'll never send it. 25th. Active no. Inventory. List everything you've said yes to in the last week. Meetings, favors, social plans, and honestly assess which ones honored your priorities. Weekly ritual. Every Sunday, review your calendar and yes list. Score it. Rate each commitment 1 to 5 on how aligned it was with your core goal. Decline plan. For future invitations, craft a simple, graceful no template you can adapt, so you conserve energy for what truly matters. 26. Sensory Reduction Day. Once every few months, pick a day to minimize sensory input. Environment: dim the lights, wear muted tone clothing, and reduce strong scents. No perfume or heavily spiced food. Activities: choose low stimulus tasks: reading, drawing, organizing. Outcome: you'll recalibrate your tolerance for chaos and heighten your appreciation for simple pleasures. 27th. Letter to my future self. Capsule. At the start of a big project or life phase, write a detailed letter to yourself 1 year from now. Seal it in an envelope and store it. Don't revisit until the due date. Contents. Describe your current vision, fears, goals, and what silence has taught you so far. Power. Knowing there's a personal message waiting in the future reinforces accountability without external noise. Reveal. On the opening day, compare your growth in private. No need to share it publicly. 28th. Focused reading lists. Curate a small shelf or digital list of books that deepen your understanding of self-awareness, mindfulness, and strategic silence. No more than 5 at a time. Example: titles: Deep Work by Cal Newport, The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, Stillness is the Key by Ryan Holiday. Reading practice. Read for 20 minutes daily in your quiet space and annotate insights in the margins. Never post them online. Review ritual. At month's end, summarize the key takeaways in your journal and decide which to implement next. 29th. Implement the half-day off rule. Give yourself permission to step completely away from work and obligations 1 afternoon a week. Use it for self-care, hobbies, or simply doing nothing, but in silence. Scheduling. Block it on your calendar so others see you're unavailable. Guidelines. No checking work email, no side projects, no productive guilt, just presence with yourself. Benefits. These pockets of unstructured silence boost creativity, reduce burnout, and remind you that your worth isn't only in what you produce. 30. Quarterly Silence Summit. Every 3 months, dedicate a full weekend, or at least 1 full day, to an intensive silence and self-focus experience. No external commitments allowed. Components: mindful mornings, extended meditation or yoga sessions, deep work, block, 4-hour project sprint in your quiet space, nature immersion, a long silent hike or trip to a secluded spot. Reflective closure, a detailed journal debrief, what shifted, what emerged, what you're excited to carry forward. Outcome: these summits act like personal board meetings, reviewing goals, resetting priorities, and accelerating growth in deep silence. Feel free to weave these strategies into your life at your own pace. Each one is designed to reinforce your foundation of self-focus and to help you wield silence as a superpower rather than seeing it as emptiness. Stay deliberate, stay silent, watch your inner world and outer results transform. Punje,